G'day! In today's video it's just a bit of a rant regarding Apple phones and ringtones, which mostly I find to be complete BS on how you actually have to go about setting a ringtone. Granted, it is Apple's way of pushing you towards buying the ringtone. Now, I typically use an Android phone, so the phone I'm using right now is a Poco F3 running Android 11, and with that I put my music on there. I simply can either go to settings and then just search for any MP3 that's saved on my phone under ringtones and select that file, and it's assigned as a ringtone. I don't have to connect it to a PC, I don't have to crop it, I don't have to download a third-party app to be able to set my own music as a ringtone. Where I find in the Apple world, if you've got to follow a 10-minute YouTube tutorial on how to set a song you've purchased on your phone as a ringtone, that is an absolute joke. Especially in 2021, where setting a ringtone should be as easy as going to your music library, pressing and holding on the song and go set as ringtone. I find it absolutely a joke how the Apple have set it up. Granted, as we all know, it's pushing you towards paying the couple of bucks to get that 30-second audio clip and purchasing it through the iTunes store or the App Store to be able to then set that as a ringtone. I do find it an absolute disgrace and just ridiculous. Yesterday I had a lady come in, she goes, okay, my family have purchased me this song on my iPhone and I would like to set that as a ringtone. And granted, I hadn't looked at doing that for a couple of years now. I thought this should be a straightforward process. I'll go to your purchase music, I'll go to this music on the iPhone itself and select that as a ringtone. No option appeared. And everything that I saw either involved connecting it to iTunes, downloading the song onto iTunes, changing it to an AAC file, then cropping it to 30 seconds, then exporting it as an m4r file, and it's just so many bullshit steps. You should not have to do that in 2022. This is an absolute joke. So, for the simple fact of never really hearing a custom ringtone on an iPhone, I definitely think this is the reason why, especially as opposed to the limiting factor that most people usually don't change their ringtone on their phone. I typically have 2-3 notifications that I use for probably the last 10 years, and all of them have been custom ringtones just because I get sick of hearing the stock ringtone. But the amount of times I hear the stock either Apple iPhone ringtone or a Samsung ringtone is extremely high, so a very small percentage already change it, and the fact that they've made it behind a paywall to be able to change your iPhone ringtone is a joke. So Apple, hopefully you get your act into gear. Stop looking at the money, start looking at the convenience, which is one thing that your brand was built up upon. So hopefully they do resolve that. I'm doubtful, but let's see what happens in the future.